17 for each and every Eurotour event. He comes from Poland. Ladies and gentlemen, Krzysztof Ratajski. And his opponent, he was a winner on the Challenge Tour last year. He got his tour card in 2017. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Madhouse, Richie Edhouse.
Let's get ready.
Mike, sight.
Let's get ready to rumble.
And your referee for the next two matches, Mr. Kirk Bevins.
A one man who can't stop qualifying for European Tour events against a man who's playing his first of 2017, Krzysztof Ratajski, a top player from Poland, against Richie Edhouse, a man who's got a win against Michael van Gerwen to his name this year. And joining me, Chris Murphy, is Dan Dawson.
Yeah, one of a select group of players to have beaten MVG this year. Only 10 players have done it. But Richie Edhouse is one of them. Steve Beaton's another. He's on the way in the game after this. Former finalist at the Gibraltar Darts Trophy is the bronze to Donis. Not sure whether he's on the practice board or just soaking up the last few rays before it gets dark here in Gib. But Ratajski in a very, very good habit of qualifying. Absolutely dominating that Eastern European qualifier. Qualified for the first 6 events. After winning a couple of games, has taken a giant step towards qualification for the European Championship as a whole, which will be taking place in Belgium later on this year with the culmination of the European Tour.
Yeah, for Richie, qualifying for this one included victories over
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. First leg is for Richie to throw first. Game on.
Tricky Ricky Williams, Pete Hudson and Kevin Painter, and that went 6-5.
180.
Does not get any better. 3 perfect darts for Richie Edhouse to kick off his campaign at the Gibraltar Darts Trophy.
85.
Already seen wins for John Henderson and Rob Cross this evening.
81.
Former BDO World #1 James Wilson, former Lakeside World Champ Steve Beaton, former Lakeside World Champ Christian Kist. Darren Johnson playing the best darts of his life this year. He's on the way. Dimitri Vandenberg, the young Belgian who's been stunning on the development tour. All of those guys in action this evening. And 3 more host nation qualifiers. Not gone well for the Gibraltarians so far. Justin Broton beaten 6-3 by Matt Clark, and Dyson Parodi only got 1 leg against Magnus Carris. But Dylan Duo, Manuel Valerio and Anthony Lopez
135. Richie
the flag for the host nation. Edhouse looks at the 15s, gets it double top for a 145. Oh, very nearly a big one and a 12-darter, but he will be back.
Yeah, started with a maximum and threatened to finish the first leg with a big checkout. So John Henderson
60.
hit the biggest of them all
Richie
in the previous match.
20.
He's trying to open up the bed.
Game shot on the first leg. Richie Edhouse.
He found room.
Second leg, it's
for the
Krzysztof
second
to
dart.
throw first. Game on.
Take the first leg. Yeah, in those first 2 matches, Dan, you'd say that they've gone to the favourite. I think this one's much more tightly matched. And perhaps
85.
you might plump for Krzysztof Ratajski based on recent exploits.
Well, just, you know, his performance in the first round in Sindelfingen last weekend was impressive.
57.
Highest average apart from Jan Dekker, I believe. He was just under the 100 mark. And he has shown that he can take the game to some of the bigger names.
140.
He put up a very good fight against Mensur Suljevic, who was beaten in the end. But he's a dangerous player, Ratajski. And the thing is, having qualified for so many of these,
98.
he must feel confident about qualifying for more. And it probably takes a bit of the pressure off because he thinks, I'm going to have more opportunities here.
Yeah, he lost in the first round, didn't he, to
43.
Robbie John Rodriguez in the German Darts and Masters. But the other 3 times, he's won his first round match and then gone out to the seed in the second round.
He's got to keep plugging away, and if he can
60.
Just build up that confidence. As I say, he's going to get more opportunities, it looks like. Certainly here and then the next tournament. And then we'll have more qualifiers to determine who comes through that Eastern European section.
140.
For the other 6 events this year. But, you know, if he even qualifies for 3 of the remaining 6, then surely he's got enough money in the bank by then to qualify for the European
98.
Championship. So that's a big
Christoph
TV
Uruguay,
tournament.
93.
First one for Christoph in the PDC. 7 off, leaves 86. Treble 18. Double 16.
77.
Well, he was a long way in front, so he'll have the chance to come and sort it out, but Edhouse is going to be right behind him.
140. Christoph Uruguay, 16. Game show on the second leg. Christoph Ratajski. Third leg is for Richie to throw first. Game on.
No bother for the Polish champion there, Richie Edhouse. Man who won his tour card at the start of the year.
55.
Battered his way through Q School in all honesty. He made it to the deciding game on the opening day. He was beaten, but then came back the next day and won it outright. So, won a lot of games in just a couple of days there, Richie Ed.
60.
And already made his first quarter-final on the Pro Tour. That was in the 3rd event in Barnsley at the Metrodome.
57.
Did play a lot of Challenge Tour stuff last year, managed to win one of them.
81.
For Ratajski too, the potential of a place in the World Cup of Darts beckons as well.
85.
Well, you would think he'd be nailed on, wouldn't you?
Yeah, the Polish
bowling.
team is one of the ones that hasn't been confirmed yet, but yeah, you can't see past. It'd be very strange for him not to be playing it, wouldn't it? He's the best
95.
player by some distance.
He's the Polish champion, man. How can you have a team which doesn't involve the champion of your country? Madness.
57.
I don't know who he'd play with.
Probably whoever he keeps beating in the final.
57.
The Polish runner-up.
Last year it was Marius Paul.
Ah, Marius Paul, of course.
100.
Now then, Ratajski has an opportunity to break the throw if he can find... Well, he's got 1 treble already.
134.
Yeah, very good. Very good. Pressure
Richie
applied.
147.
Richie wants all the reds, all the blacks, and all the colours. Not going to happen.
Oh, he wasn't far from taking out a 145 in the opening leg.
57.
But he
Christoph
wasn't under that
Uruguay,
kind of
74.
pressure that he's under right now. Ratajski to get the first break of throw. Treble 14. Double 16.
Game show on the
Lovely
third leg.
2-dot
Christoph
check out by
Ratajski.
Christoph Ratajski.
Well,
Breaks
it's
the throw,
Christoph to
goes
throw
into the
first.
lead.
Game on.
Yeah, Edhouse looking a little bit baffled in the background.
$59.
Always looks likely when that
140.
first start lands high in the treble bed to follow it.
Tough assignment for whoever does come through this one, because they're in the unfortunate position of facing
85.
the #1 seed. Peter Snakebite Wright, the world #3, man who's won 3/4 of these Euro Tour events so far this year. Looking to make it 4 out of 5 this weekend.
100.
But no Michael van Gerwen here. Wright is the red-hot favourite to do so. But we've been saying, if it is Christoph who comes through this, he's very early days for this, but he has been threatening players.
99.
You know, he gave Mensur Suljovic a real test when he met him last time out.
Of course, Richie Edhouse beat the man who's usually the #1 seed.
Maybe,
53.
maybe he would have preferred to play Van Gerwen. Knows how to beat him.
In fact, if you look at the Pro Tour Order of Merit for which the seedings are done for these events, if Peter Wright was to win this weekend, he'd be really closing in on becoming the #1 seed on pure merit.
58.
That would be interesting times, particularly with MVG probably set to start missing a couple of tournaments here and there when his first child arrives later this year.
140.
Say probably. We don't really know how it's going to pan out for MVG.
With £25,000 added to his ranking when he'd only be about 7,000 behind Michael van Gerwen.
118. Richie, you require 68.
So to break back, Edhouse, 15 scored, 53 remain. 13 for tops. Will probably be the route. It is.
48.
But he can't find the double.
Christoph, you require 82.
Well, he should look at the bullseye. 17 for double top. Can he find the target that his opponent couldn't?
42.
The other side.
Richie, you require 20.
Well, Edhouse took this out in the first leg. Gonna have to use double 5 here.
15.
Unable to
Christoph, you
find
require
it. And
40.
Ratajski to open up. A 2-leg gap for a 3rd leg on the spin. Dodged a bit of a bullet to get this chance. Is he taking it?
30.
No, he is not.
Richie, you require
He's not, and I
5.
tell you what, there has been a shed load of missed doubles
Mm.
in this tournament so far. I think it may be that it has got
Shot on
such
the
a
fourth
different
leg.
feel
Richie Edhouse.
as Edhouse finally nails the double
Fifth leg is
one.
Richie to throw first. Game
The
on.
Friday afternoon session notoriously quiet. This evening, we've continued to see players miss doubles. It's not. You feel like you've got to win this game to really get into the tournament.
140.
We have seen some cagey affairs. Also some flashes of brilliance as well.
85.
Well, certainly Mario Robber, Matthew Dennant, real nightmares on the doubles for those pairs. Even Rob Cross missed well over a dozen darts at double
96.
despite winning 6-0.
Yeah, Dennant, I think, was 1 in 15 in his defeat to James Richardson.
140.
Using the 19s because he's more likely to leave a finish.
58.
Still needed one treble at least. Couldn't find that.
$82. $42.
Not enough for Richie Edhouse. And worryingly for him, that's left a bogey number.
Ratajski looking to capitalise.
122.
And doing so, really making hay. Down to 72. Edhouse just left to hit and hope, and how frustrating is that?
How often do you see that when players either unwittingly leave a bogey number, or they've done it without thinking, haven't been concentrating properly, and have miscounted and left a bogey number, and then the first 2 darts
133.
in a big treble, knowing if they'd left the finish, they would have got a dart for the leg. As it is, Ratajski gets a dart. And
Shot on the
breaks with a
fifth leg,
72
Christoph
checkout.
Ratajski. Second leg, it's Christoph to throw first. Game on.
And you can see Edhouse thinking about that. You can almost read the mind there. I think it was something along the lines of, what have I done?
140.
No point beating yourself up about it, it'll only drag you down, but he seems to have forgotten about it with that dart.
95.
Frustrating that, when your first dart is exactly where you want it to be and you can't follow it with the next 2.
$100.
Bit like that for Christoph.
We are pretty close to this stage, Dan. Maybe he's just heard you and tried to illustrate your point.
Well,
75.
not the first dart player to have issues with that today, I think.
$59.
Well, 130 points ahead, Christoph Ratajski. Edhouse under pressure. Desperately trying to prevent his opponent taking a 2-leg lead
96.
here. Peter Snakebite Wright awaits the winner of this one. The same quarter of the draw with Stephen Bunting. Going to play
59.
Chris Quantock tomorrow. Quantock a 6-5 winner against Paul Nicholson this afternoon. Alan Norris, former Euro Tour winner. He's in That quarter of the draw, he takes on Matt Clark, who's sort of Justin Broton, and Gerwin Price is in this section of the draw as well. The Iceman yet to find out who his opponent will be in the second round. That's going to be confirmed in our penultimate game of the night when Dynamite Darren Johnson takes on Manuel Valerio. Darren Johnson looking to ensure there is somebody with the nickname Dynamite in the second round, seeing as Dynamite Dyson Parodi didn't manage it.
102. Richie require 140.
Still behaved in his usual explosive manner, though, didn't he?
He did.
Вирусная угроза была обнаружена.
And up with all the subtlety of a
100.
Dothraki horse lord.
41.
One leg.
Didn't have much to cheer about. And Ratajski's got plenty to cheer about.
Game shot on the sixth
As
leg.
he lands,
Christoph
double
Ratajski.
16.
Seventh leg is Richie to
Open
throw
up.
first. Game on.
A two-leg cushion.
Yeah, pretty good stuff from Christoph at this stage.
95.
Some neat checkouts, Christoph. He's still only, 38% on the doubles. It's not great, but 72 and a 74, taking out that 41 with no bother. Not getting bogged
100.
down in legs. And we saw Rob Cross win 6-0 earlier, but, I mean, he was going 16s and 8s and 4s and 2s. He won a couple of legs on double one. Edhouse just missing out on what would have been his second maximum. Started this game off with 3 perfect darts, Richie Edhouse, but not been able to really threaten to catch light since then.
60.
Averages in the mid-80s here, nothing to write home about. Still time for Edhouse to turn this around, but it is running out.
Certainly is. I'm a big fan of how Ratajski plays the game. He's kind of unflappable, just
60.
stone-faced,
Richie require 129.
demeanour, doesn't give anything away. Just concentration etched on his face all the time. Edhouse has been
93.
giving us a glimpse into his mind, hasn't he, with his reactions. But none of that from this man.
No, you won't want to play poker against Christoph Ratajski.
180.
You won't want to play darts against him sometimes,
Richie
because that is his first
36.
maximum. And it's come to
Game
give him a
shot on the
chance.
seventh leg.
But
Richie
Edhouse, 13 darter,
He thanks Christoph to
closes
throw
the gap.
first. Game on.
Yeah, just wipes his brow in relief there, Edhouse. Because Ratajski
97.
pumped up the pressure before the carpet fitter. Pin double 18.
He has made the final day of a Euro Tour before, Richie Edhouse.
45.
Started last year at the Dutch Darts Masters. That was the first tournament we had in the year in Venray. Massive crowds in Venray. Not there this year. We're going to Maastricht. I'm told it's going to be of a similar size, maybe even bigger. Up to 5,000. Yeah, massive treat indeed.
174.
174. That third dart just resting in the treble 19 for Ratajski, but good enough for Mr. Bevins, who gives it the
85.
full Kirk Bevins trademark 170 plus score call. Very proud of those, is Kirk.
Rightly so.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I remember that tournament in Venray. Rod Harrington was
140.
He was, bigging up Richie Edhouse, who's known about him for some time.
Well, he did benefit from having a bye through the second round. Robert Thornton.
94.
I think he may have been a late withdrawal for illness.
90.
He still got there, still made the last 16. Good dart.
He may be waving by.
Showing the
if
8 leg.
Ratajski carries on like this.
9 leg is Richie to throw first. Game on.
Well, it's impressive that from Ratajski, because Edhouse, he just upped his game, produced a 13 darter to cut the gap, and then immediately
60.
Ratajski fires a 12 darter back at him. And we talk so much about timing. You know, if somebody does step it up against you and you just throw something even better back at them, you can just stop their charge in its tracks. And now Edhouse is facing the prospect of having to win 3 legs in a row. He's got no other option. He's only gone off 60. Ratajski's gone off ton 40. And the pressure is being piled on the carpet
85.
fitter from Enfield here.
Yeah, Ratajski beat Jamie Bain 6-3 at this stage of the German Darts Open. Beat Steve Lennon 6-4 at this stage last weekend in Sindelfingen.
60.
He's looking like he's about to claim a 3rd consecutive first round victory on the Euro Tour in 2017.
92.
Well, not bad, is it? I mean, you know, picked up a couple of grand at the German Darts Championship, a grand for that first round exit at the German Darts Masters, another 2 grand at the German Darts Open, another 2 grand in Sindelfingen last weekend.
125.
Only, what, 176 points away from another 2 grand minimum, although Peter Wright is a very, very tough prospect.
121.
Tougher than anybody else on the European Tour this year. I don't think you can dispute that.
Yeah, and the other players, the likes of Michael Van Gerwen not being here, doesn't really make a difference. Peter Wright has been winning anyway.
143.
Not just on the Euro Tour. Finished second in the Premier League, very close to coming top of the tree.
And with Edhouse not threatening to take out the 143, that might be the last dart he throws in this tournament, because Ratajski's looking at 76 for a 6-3 win. He's only going to get 1 dart at double top. Oh no, well, my word. I think he was going for 16 for tops. As it is...
44. Richie
Well, he's been
83.
pretty good on double 16. Hit it a couple of times, but 1 match dart missed. Edhouse may only get a dart at the bullseye himself. Even better than that, though.
65.
Well, that chance has
Gibraltar
gone.
32.
Ratajski seemed to just knock himself out of his own stride with that loose dart in the previous visits.
Oh, is that in the double 8?
I think it is.
Game shot.
So it's
and
that.
the match.
And that's the match. Double-double, the only way to go. Christoph Ratajski yet again wins his first round match at a European Tour event. That's 3 in a row, and he is through to take on Peter Wright tomorrow in the second round of the Gibraltar Darts Trophy. Up next, Mike De Decker takes on former world champion Steve Beaton.
Come on, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. Richie Edhouse.